I thought I'd try a Lisa Eldridge-esque tutorial, so that's why I've got lilac eyeshadow on. We've just come out of a heat wave in England. That wasn't fun. I've come to the realisation that I love cold places. Move me to Iceland, please. That place was beautiful. I have the puffin to remember it. Oh yeah, and the 5-month break between videos was because I've been doing a PT course. I've been doing exercise and teaching people exercise and blah. It's every weekend from 9 to 5, so I've been so busy. I've also had a recent emotional upheaval, which I will not go into. Today's video is going to be how to spot someone's sign, but with a caveat. Frankly, you can't really guess someone's sun sign very accurately unless you know them as a person. So this is more going to be how to guess someone's rising or ascendant than it is going to be guessing someone's star sign or sun sign. I think I should probably give you a bit of a backstory into what a rising or ascendant is as well. So you won't actually know your rising or ascendant unless you know your actual birthday, because it changes really rapidly.
The ascendant is the zodiacal sign and degree that is ascending on the eastern horizon.
Essentially, your ascendant is going to be the thing that people notice first, because it's the way you present yourself to the world. So for all intents and purposes, if you're trying to guess someone's star sign, you're probably going to guess their rising sign first. How to spot an Aries (brackets rising). An Aries is easily guessable by the fact that they wear sports clothes a lot. They also tend to just not wear makeup because they're like, look at me, I'm the best. I don't need makeup. I naturally feel this way about myself. It tends to come across as very blunt and boisterous and childlike. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so they tend to represent the infant or the baby, so they're going to be a bit childish. They tend to be quite short and stocky in stature, and they gain muscle really easily if they're into working out. Aries' body part is the head, so you're gonna have quite a big head. I'm not very good at personally finding Aries risings in my vicinity. I don't know why, I'm just not. Taurus risings are going to be slow and deliberate. Taurus risings have like doe eyes. They're really friggin' adorable. I think they're really cute. Again, quite stocky builds. They tend to have dark hair, dark eyes, usually quite hairy. What else to say about Tauruses? They like the finer things in life, so they're probably going to wear a suit. As a general rule, they tend to dress quite formally, apart from when they're in the house, because then they can just slob out, as they tend to like to do. Gemini risings! My ex was a Gemini rising, and I think he was very typical of that ascendant. They talk a lot, and if they're not talking, they're not really listening, they're kind of in their own head. There's a lot of voices going on in the Gemini psyche. They have quite long limbs and quite long fingers and toes. They tend to look really young, Gemini risings. They look like Peter Pan-esque. They never seem to age. They might have quite a lot of freckles, and their eyes sometimes change colour. I've noticed people with Gemini risings, actually a lot of air sign risings, they'll just have their eyes change colour. I don't know why that is. Cancer rising! So Cancer rules the breasts, so if you're a lady with Cancer rising, you're probably gonna have some quite prominent ones. You tend to be a little plumper, not overweight, but like you have a rounder appearance. Beautiful, like, doughy eyes. I would say a lot of Cancer risings actually have blonde hair. I don't know why that is, they just do. And they're usually really short. The exception here to the rule, of course, is Daniel Howe, who is ridiculously tall, but he still looks like a Cancer rising. Look at that face! It's like a friggin' cute dimpled dough face. Leo risings, the people that will wear the things that you're like, oh, why are you wearing that? It's really bright, really in your face stuff. Tend to be the centre of attention a lot. They wear a lot of makeup, are very tall, tend to have dark hair. And what else do the Leo risings do? They have this air of magnanimity, the word I can never say. Leo rules the back, I think, so you're probably gonna have quite a nice back as well. A nice shapely back, as no one says ever. Virgo rising! Hello, I'm a Virgo rising. I'm 1 degree, but whatever, 1 degree Virgo rising here. I don't know what that was. They're gonna be neat as a pin. Their makeup's going to be like on point, perfectionist supreme. Wear a lot of dull or muted colours. They're quite reserved. They really take a bit of time to warm up to people. They may even come across as quite rude or mean, but they're not, they're just really quiet. Maybe a bit of a washed out appearance, they tend to be quite pale. Libra risings. These are gonna be the beautiful people. The people who look ridiculously perfect, naturally. Like their faces, you look at them and you're like, how do you exist? How did your facial features end up so symmetrical? They're quite bubbly and they laugh a lot. And although they seem friendly, they're going to have this slightly standoffish aura, and that's because they're actually a masculine sign. You're going to have this dominant kind of energy, which other people are going to maybe shy away from. You may have a lot of friends and be kind of popular. Other people might see you as a bit standoffish. Libra Risings are just the epitome of male and female beauty. Aphrodite in that picture, that is a Libra Rising. Now, Scorpio Risings. The most obvious rising sign there is. They look like snake people. Just Google it. Now, don't get me wrong, snake people is not an insult. If anything, it's a compliment because you look so piercing and beautiful. Tend to be very still and silent. Can't really break their facade very easily. Really impenetrable in some way. And scary. They're scary coming from someone who has Venus, Mars and Pluto in Scorpio, so imagine how other people feel. Their aesthetic tends to be very simple and streamlined. They're not fussy and they won't put a lot of attention to detail into any of their clothes and things like that. Sagittarius Risings. These are the worldly types. These are the people that go around Earth travelling for 1,000 years. Quite an eclectic look. It's quite hard to pin them down to any one appearance. These are going to be your stereotypical yoga teachers and hippies and flower people. They also might be very sporty. They're very friendly people and they tend to get along with everyone, but they're also very non-committal. They wear a lot of yellows and browns and things like that. These are the people you're probably going to talk about crystals with. Just thought of a Sagittarius Rising, Phil Lester. There you go. Yo guys, Niamh from the future here. I realised that I basically introduced Phil and his rising sign and then said literally nothing interesting about it. So, to clarify, Sagittarius's symbol is the archer or the centaur, so they're gonna have like really long legs and be like really athletic, and you know how Phil like eats lots of food and he basically never gains weight? Yeah, it's a Sagittarius Rising thing. Sagittarius Risings can also wear pretty outrageous clothes, a bit like Leo Rising. They're both fire signs after all, and they're kind of go-getters. That's just something I wanted to add. So, back to the video. Capricorn Rising. They're the long and lanky, David Bowie-esque of people. They tend to be quite androgynous, pointy cheekbones. They're quite pale, look like aliens in a good way because aliens are awesome. They're different. Their aesthetic is very unique. Long, lanky, pale. I used to think Daniel Howe was one of these before I realised he was a Cancer Rising, which is fairly similar in that both Capricorns and Cancers have this standoffish aura about them, and they wear a lot of black, both of them. But anyway, Aquarius Risings are kind of like Sagittarius Risings, but like to 100%. These are the people that tend to colour their hair. Not that that's a bad thing, obviously, but I'm a Virgo Rising, so I don't see the appeal, but you know, you're gonna have a lot of piercings, you're gonna have a lot of tattoos, probably. They have a lot of friends from a lot of different cultures. They're kind of flipped between them because they're an air sign. Their general demeanour is quite cold. You wouldn't call them a warm person. They're very unpredictable and erratic, which does not appeal to my Virgo Rising self of perfectionism and control. There you go, that's an Aquarius Rising. I'm sorry I sound so dismissive of them. I'm honestly not. I just find them very confusing. Pisces Risings. Oh, you cute little fish people. I have a thing about Pisces because it's my 7th and 8th houses, so I'm sorry if I'm gonna be really nice about Pisces, but I freaking love them. They're basically like Gemini Risings in that they always look young and youthful, but they're so innocent and pure that you kind of don't mind. Demure appearance, they tend to have a lot of freckles and they wear things like dungarees and stripes. They have this like sing-song voice. They're the young at heart people that you don't mind being young at heart. I think my plant is dying. This is a snow globe that my sister made. There's a picture of us in it, it's so cute. And there's a picture of a rabbit at the back. I realise a lot of the things I said can also be applied to the sun sign, but like I said, these traits are more external. They tend to be the mask that someone puts on. If you want to like pick out someone and be like, I think you're this video might help you in that respect. But please don't do that too much because that's probably really annoying. I hope you're all great, having a good life. Thank you for subscribing. Oh yeah, I now have 50 subscribers. What? Where are you coming from? Thank you. Oh yeah, and since I last posted, Dan's video came out and I bought his merch. It's distressed looking, like me. So did Phil's video. They're coming out videos. Very, very interesting watches. I hope you guys are well. Please subscribe if you want to see more of my weird face. Hey! This is what I'd look like with like my hair cut off.